I'm going to walk out that door and create life. That's where you'll find what you're truly looking for. Stay awake long enough to capture the reality in front of you, but not so long that you forget to dream of new reality. Stay who you are, because your voice and your vision and your talents, they're unparalleled. But don't stay the same, because to evolve is to breathe life into that authenticity. Stay away from those misaligned ventures, the broken places, the empty relationships. They're not you. But stay close to those things that are. Stay in when it's time to invest in yourself, to chip away at our default ignorance, to turn that curious soul into a knowledgeable actor. But know that all that other stuff, the fun, the escapes, the distractions, they stay right where they are, waiting, should you need them. Stay the course. Not just when it's easy, but when it's difficult. When things for a moment in time feel impossible, lose their glamour, feel like a burden too costly for you to pay. Because hanging in there through the storm, it changes the way we look at life. Like being able to see the stars for the very first time, and no storm stays forever. Stay humble. Because knowing what you don't know is the first step in becoming who you might be. But don't stay so humble that you can't move with conviction into that great unknown. Stay hungry, stay motivated, stay fixated on the next great adventure. But stay grateful for everything you have now. See, without that, the future loses its allure and its relevance. Without that, the perpetual desire for more stays. But that all-important sense of purpose goes. And a life without meaning, well, it just isn't much of a life. And that, if anything, is what we are left to understand. That fine line between staying and going, anchors down or sails up, acceptance of all that is, but the pursuit of all that can be. When the heart pushes and the brain pulls, perhaps this little formula is what connects all the dots. Stay who you are and go where that truth leads you. Stay because identity is power, home is our foundation, and our reflection tells the story. But go because progress is happiness. Meaning is rooted in overcoming, dying and being born again, slaying dragons just to prove to ourselves that we could. So go dream of new realities. Just make sure you stay awake long enough to remember why you dream. Oh.
I'm really doing it, Liv. I got a studio space. I am so proud of you. And Gov is super excited to help.
To be stuck. Those moments in time were the world we've anticipated, the one that we've hoped for. Well, it's not quite matching up with the one we're looking at. Those times where you stop and think, aren't I supposed to get out what I put in? Isn't the point of planning to have some type of control, some semblance of authority over the outcome. How do I get those worlds to align? I've been thinking a lot about how paradoxical life is, how what we fear is often the exact same thing we need most. How what we're terrified of is where we find our courage, it's where we become more. How when we look ourselves in the mirror and have no clue at that moment in time who the hell is looking back, well, that moment is when it all begins. Bingo. Here's what I think. I think being stuck is the blessing that we didn't know we needed, because at that moment in time, it begs us to be what we're not. It opens the curtain and unveils something that's so necessary, so imperative, yet so overlooked. Here's what the last decade of my life has taught me. It's taught me that until your back is against the wall, until you're up to your neck in regrets, and I wish, and opportunities pass by, until you realize that your reality is a fraction, a microcosm of your potential, you're not living. Because once you find that realization, well, that is when the magic happens. That's when we become who we might be. See, anyone can dance when the music is playing, but this moment, this is a special one. This is when you dance to silence. This is when you compose. I want to share with you an idea, a concept. It's gotten me through the worst times. It's gotten me through times where I felt like I had nothing left, where I felt lost, unsure, underappreciated, where I felt like this world had absolutely nothing out there for me, that I was going to be a statistic, another dude who tried, failed, and quit. It's this. It's that you are always one decision, one move, one step away from a totally different life.
That's really gonna chop me up in the pieces.
Not sometimes or during the best of times, but always. And I'm not talking about the home run ball. I mean, sure, those are great, but they're shooting stars, the anomaly. I'm talking about getting on base. I'm talking about, one, believing there's a journey out there, that it's possible, and two, that you are worthy of that pursuit. Can you do one thing that makes you, even for a moment of time, remember who you are, feel the power, the contentment, the adrenaline of momentum